strategy is me leaving with my hand, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it up. And I slapped Steven so hard.
Yeah, that looked real.
They here to test me for steroids.
Terence Crawford has just issued a stern warning to Canelo Alvarez ahead of their much-anticipated September clash. However, Eddie Hearn shared his thoughts on the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, saying that he had always wanted Canelo to win because of the time he has spent working with him. However, after spending time with Crawford, Eddie Hearn admitted that Crawford's strong mindset and confidence made a big impression on him. He explained that Crawford's true you.
He's still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel
of course, yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight, and but it's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. And he can win for sure. But Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him, and I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
Moreover, Terence Crawford's sparring partner True expressed confidence in Crawford's training, saying that size will not be an issue and that Crawford is fully prepared for the big fight. Kelly stated that his son Terence will be prepared and ready to handle the situation when the time comes. When pressed for a prediction, Ellie said he feels Crawford will win but wants to watch how things unfold before making a final call.
My boy Terence gonna be ready. You see the size, ain't nothing. My boy Terence gonna be ready. We gonna be locked in. It's a big fight. And my boy Terence gonna take care of business, and he ready for it.
How do you think? You got a prediction? Obviously, you think he's gonna win. Do you think you'll stop him?
I gotta see it. My prediction is Terence will win. However, I gotta see.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, has made it clear that he is fully focused on his fight with Canelo Alvarez. He refused to disclose his combat strategy, but did state that his goal is to walk away with his hand raised and leave everyone in shock.
I'm gonna break it down to you. You know what I mean? How it's gonna happen. The strategy is me leaving with my hand, rolls and everybody mouth dropping. That's how I can, sums it up.
Furthermore, Terence Crawford stated that he doesn't see himself chasing Canelo Alvarez, but rather wants the opportunity to face the best boxer of his era. He called Canelo the most accomplished boxer in the sport today, aside from himself, and voiced his desire to face another great champion. Crawford believes a fight between him and Canelo would be the most significant bout in boxing right now. I'm
chasing Canelo. I think that's a broad statement. I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter in today's sports of boxing, other than myself. And I would just like to, fight another great. That's it. I think it'll be the biggest fight in the sport of boxing.
However, Terence Crawford's popularity skyrocketed after reports surfaced that he knocked out a sparring partner with a single slap. The shocking display of power sparked speculation, with some suggesting he was being tested for steroids. During training camp, he amazed both fans and experts with his strength and intensity.
I slapped Steven so hard.
Yeah, that looked real.
They here to test me for steroids. Let's go. 1, 2. Damn, man.
Moreover, Anthony Derail expressed his excitement for the fight, stating it will be a thrilling event, especially with Crawford moving up in weight class. He emphasized that training with bigger opponents in the gym isn't the same as exchanging punches in a real bout, where every shot feels sharper and more dangerous. Derail believes the biggest question is whether Crawford can withstand Canelo's physical strength over multiple rounds. Nonetheless, he expressed confidence in Crawford's preparation and stated that Crawford wouldn't take such a fight unless he was completely ready. When asked who he would bet on, Derail quickly and confidently named Terence Crawford as his pick.
Good fight. I think Crawford is coming up in weight. Everybody want to know how he's going to handle Canelo's power. I think Crawford has sparred bigger people, but not fought big people without a headgear. It's totally different sparring and fighting, because you're going to feel that punch in fighting for sure. So we got to see how he handles it, but I think he'll handle it, or he wouldn't be going up. I mean, it's Terence Crawford. If he know he can do it, he can do it. 100%.
If you had to put money on it, who would you put money on?
Terence Crawford. 100%. Yeah.
Amir Khan commented on the upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, saying it will be extremely difficult to pick a winner. He noted that Canelo naturally carries more weight and has significant punching power, referencing his own time in the ring with him. Amir clearly recalls feeling the difference in size and strength. However, he also remembered Crawford feeling physically strong when they fought. The key difference, according to Amir, lies in the force behind their punches, with Crawford clearly hitting hard, but Canelo's power feeling more explosive and capable of ending fights in an instant.
Hard fight to call, Canelo Crawford, because Crawford is a big guy as well. I mean, I normally would say Canelo because he's a bigger guy, but and normally he's bigger than his opponents and he puts on the weight well. And when I fought him, he was much heavier and bigger than me. But then again, when I fought against Crawford was as big as Canelo. But I just don't feel that Crawford hits as hard as Canelo. Canelo hits very hard. I mean, his power is, his power is like unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you watch the fight and you see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, with Crawford's got power. Don't get me wrong, Crawford's got amazing power. But the thing is that it's not that knockout power that Canelo has. Now, you have to understand.
Later in the interview, Amir Khan discussed how evenly matched the boxers are. He stated that both fighters possess incredible skill and are approaching the final stages of their boxing careers. While Crawford has recently impressed and even helped Amir prepare for his last fight, Amir admitted he slightly leans toward Canelo. He noted that although some fans believe Canelo is slowing down, Amir still sees him as extremely dangerous. He added that the showdown has strong arguments on both sides, and the winner will be the one with the best combination of talent, speed, and timing. He described it as a true toss-up that could go either way.
Canelo 10 years ago or so. Now, is that the same Canelo that is out there now? A lot of people saying Canelo's maybe past his best. Now with Crawford's come off some good wins, looking really good. But still, the age is very similar. Both guys are getting on towards the end of their career. I think it's evenly matched, but I do lean more towards Canelo in this one, even though Crawford's a very close friend of mine and helped me in my training camp for my last fight. But it's a hard fight to call because both fighters are at the top of the game. I think it's something that boxing's not seen for a very, very long time, where you've got two fighters. It's hard to say who's going to win. It is a 50-50 fight. Is it skill or power that's going to win, or is it skill or speed that's going to win the fight? We don't know. So
Richardson Hitchens expressed his belief that Terence Crawford has a legitimate chance of defeating Canelo Alvarez, even though he's a completely different type of boxer than those who have previously beaten Canelo, such as Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol. Hitchens said that Crawford's intelligence and ring IQ could allow him to carve his own path to victory without needing to imitate anyone else's style. He believes Crawford should stay focused on his own strengths and stick to his unique strategy. However, Hitchens was cautious about predicting a knockout, noting that Canelo has never been stopped and questioning whether even someone as skilled as Crawford could be the first to do it.
Crawford is one of the most crappiest dudes that Canelo gonna be in the ring with. Hand speed, IQ, long arms, speed, power. Switch hitter. I just think that it's gonna be a lot for. It's gonna be something different for Canelo, but I think Canelo's Canelo. Canelo been. First title defense was in 2011 versus Ricky Hatton, and he's still on top to the present time. So this is over 10 years. We're going on like 15 years of this guy fighting on the championship level. So there's nothing new for him. So I do believe that it's going to be a huge fight for both guys. But obviously I'm backing Bud. I have a personal relationship with Terence Crawford, and he's a black fighter, and I do want to see my own winning. I think Bud is a great guy, especially always being hands-on with the young fighters coming up behind him, guys like me, Shakur, Devin Haney, being in the gym with guys like us, and just giving us free game and shit like that. So I think that would be motivation for the young ones behind him, to show them like, yeah, like I could do it, like you could do it too. So I really want to see Bud win that fight, and I think that he can.
Jermall Charlo, after watching his brother Jermall struggle against Canelo following a move up in weight, cautioned Terence Crawford not to make the same mistake. He added that Crawford's goal shouldn't be to match Canelo's strength, but to preserve the qualities that define him, like his quick footwork, mobility, and ring awareness. Charlo emphasized that changing too much to adapt to a heavier division could work against Crawford, and that staying true to what has always made him successful would give him the best shot at victory.
All right, my brother Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he gets to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. He didn't feel like the Jermall Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harrison. Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as happening. You want to get big to try to absorb Canelo punches and all this, but that's not, technically, that's not the Crawford that we're gonna see. And then Crawford going up there to fight Canelo at 68, when he's not a 68 pounder, where's the motivation? Y'all gotta think about it like
Big
that.
for Crawford.
The money is good, but I don't expect Terence Crawford to be the Terence Crawford that was knocking out Gamboa, doing all. I don't expect that type of Terence Crawford.
But does it look Canelo?
I'm not picking either one of they.
Jim Lampley offered a more balanced perspective, though he leaned slightly against Canelo due to the natural size difference. He praised both fighters for their sustained success and competitiveness at the highest level. Lampley highlighted Crawford's versatility is switching between offense and defense is a potentially crucial factor, especially in the later rounds, when fatigue could begin to affect the rhythm and control of the fight.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do.
Manny Pacquiao also shared his thoughts, offering a more objective perspective. The legendary 8 division champion highlighted Crawford's agility and ability to evade punches as major advantages. However, he also acknowledged the challenge of facing someone with Canelo's power and commanding presence. Pacquiao avoided making a definitive prediction, but his comments seemed to slightly favor Canelo, while still recognizing the real possibility of a Crawford victory.
Canelo versus Crawford. Crawford's moving up like 20 pounds. What do you think? Good. Good for Canelo. Good for Canelo? Don't worry. 16 years old. That's what you mean. Manny, any advice on Crawford moving up in weight? You did it so many times. Any advice for Crawford moving up in weight? You did it so many times and you were successful. What do you tell Crawford? Any advice?
My advice to him is just focus on speed and
Timothy Bradley, a former title holder and Hall of Fame inductee, shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, expressing concern about one specific habit he believes could hurt Crawford. Bradley warned that Crawford's tendency to engage in toe-to-toe exchanges might be risky against a heavy hitter like Canelo.
Terence he never touched the canvas. That was his first time. And it also comes with the fact that Terence is just, that's his mentality. It's tough. A little bit of me moving forward, that's what scares me about the Canelo fight, to be honest with you, because
he ain't gonna back down. No.
He ain't gonna back down.
No.
He's not gonna back down. and he's tough, and that's what scares me about that fight, because you don't need to be trading with that bull. Like, I know you're strong.
While acknowledging Crawford's tenacity and talent, Timothy Bradley emphasized that Canelo Alvarez has already spent considerable time adjusting to the super middleweight division, which gives him a natural advantage. Crawford, on the other hand, is stepping into a weight class he's never fought in before, and his lack of experience at 168 pounds could become a major obstacle if the fight turns into a fast-paced, close-range battle. That guy is naturally strong and has been in this weight class for a long time, so he's comfortable. You're not. You don't need to trade with him at all, Bradley warned. Meanwhile, Chris Algieri noted that the matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford now feels more even, especially after seeing how easily William Skull was able to maneuver and avoid Canelo. Still, he remembered how sharp Dakar Murtazaliev looked against Crawford at 154, and how Virgil Ortiz Jr. dealt with Murtazaliev, leading him to believe both Canelo and Crawford might be showing signs of decline. He pointed out that Crawford isn't the type to run, and although Crawford is slightly taller, the height difference isn't significant. He added that fighters of Canelo's size are rarely stopped unless they're facing someone like Floyd Mayweather. While he still predicts Canelo will win by knockout, he admitted that his confidence in that outcome has started to waver.
Has gotten a little closer because of William Skull, how he moved around and how easy it seemed to get away from Canelo if you wanted to move around. But at the same time, I haven't forgotten how good Madrimov looked against Crawford at 154 and what Ortiz did to Madrimov. I do think Canelo has slipped, but it seems to be obvious to me also that Crawford has slipped. Another thing, Crawford is not going to run. Now, Crawford is a little bit taller than Canelo, but that's not tall enough. I haven't seen anyone match Canelo's height that closely in a very long time. And when they do, if your name not Floyd Mayweather, you're usually going night-night. I still have Canelo by night-night, but I don't feel the same confidence.
Joel Diaz firmly stated that Terence Crawford has no real chance of beating Canelo Alvarez, even though Crawford is his favorite fighter and, in his view, the best pound-for-pound boxer in the sport. Diaz explained that moving from 147 pounds to 168 is a massive jump, and while Crawford may look sharp in the early rounds, the size and power difference will eventually take its toll. He pointed out that Canelo has taken punches from hard-hitting opponents like Gennady Triple G Golovkin without serious trouble. If Canelo can absorb shots from Triple G, the division's biggest puncher, and not be hurt, he'll definitely hurt Crawford when he lands, Diaz said. He compared the situation to when Demetrius Andrade moved up in weight to face David Benavidez. Andrade looked sharp early on, but quickly faded as the power and size advantage set in. Diaz believes Crawford could face a similar fate. Despite Crawford's world-class skill set, Diaz argued that the physical disadvantage is simply too great. Once the size gap becomes obvious, he believes the entire dynamic of the fight will shift. In his eyes, this matchup seems more like a business move than a level playing field, a way for Crawford to secure a massive payday rather than a legitimate shot at victory.
The fight Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade was a great fighter. Nobody wanted to fight him at 54. He moved to 60. Fight 1 or 2. Nobody wanted to fight him at 60. So what did he do? He moved up to 68 because there was nothing for him to fight Benavidez, a big fighter like that. I mean, look what he did in the first 30 rounds. Demetrius Andrade was in control. He was doing great. But once that weight starts kicking in, it takes over. There is no way that Crawford can beat Canelo. I mean, Turkey Al-Sheikh, it's a big fan of Terence Crawford. Wants to give him a good payday. Simple as that. That's all.
Shocker Stevenson said he believes that Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez. He acknowledged that Canelo is a terrific fighter but believes but has all the necessary tools to win. When asked about the weight disparity, Shocker stated that people talk about it too much, but he doesn't think it will be a major factor in this fight. He noted that while David Benavidez is significantly bigger, Canelo isn't particularly tall and isn't drastically larger than Bud. Shocker also recalled a conversation with Bozianis where they agreed that Bud could possibly stop Canelo, especially if Canelo underestimates his power or makes critical mistakes during the bout. So, what are your thoughts on this? Share your opinions in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.